You're an interesting man, Scott Lang. But you've lost a lot of time, like me. We can help each other with that.
You're always that guy, John.
I can't help you.
You know the rules. If you don't do this, you know the consequences.
Accounts payable, how may I help you?
I'd like to open an account.
Name on the account?
John Wick. Somebody please get this man a gun.
Go east. If you come this far, then you know what's out there.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
You might not be her father, but you were someone's.
This Organized Chaos podcast is brought to you by listeners like you. Thank you. Hello, and welcome to another Organized Chaos podcast. Joining me, as always, is Bobby. How you doing, Bobby?
Doing good. How are you, Bob?
I am here. I'm a little low energy today. I don't know why, but
Oh, that's not good.
yeah, I don't know why, but hey, we got some cool movies to talk about. We got
Yeah. Well, like two cool movies and one cool show to talk about.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we got Ant-Man 3, John Wick 2, and a couple episodes of Last of Us.
Yeah.
And Last of Us is famously known as a very optimistic and upbeat show, so
Mhm. But its origins are in a strategic tabletop game.
Yes. Last of Us is famously, lots of people don't know this, but it essentially started out as it's based on chess. It's based on a game. It's based on chess.
It's like chess and D&D.
Yeah. famously, and nothing else.
Famously, yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
Nothing. And it's known for having a fan base that are very open-minded and never in any controversy whatsoever. So, yeah.
Yeah. Better than Lord of the Rings fans.
Yeah. But how you doing, Bobby?
Or I'm not bad.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Yeah. Just kind of all right.
Yeah, sounds exciting.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, well, one of these, we'll get into it a little later, but yeah, one of these I just kind of feel a little indifferent about.
No.
So.
Well, I mean, we'll have different opinions on that when that comes out.
Oh,
But
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to get angry and call you a fake Irishman or anything like that.
Well, I am a fake Irishman, didn't you know that? Very fake.
Oh, you lying mog hopping son of a gun.
Yeah, no, that's a thing now.
Apparently.
Yeah, I didn't know until it happened. So it's good to know. It's good to know.
How dare you appropriate the Irish culture?
I know. I'm very appropriatey. It's weird how I do that,
Yeah. Appropriatey, that's me.
Well, I guess, are we ready to get to the meat and potatoes of today's episode?
Yeah, let's get into it. Yeah,
All
we
right,
don't really got a
so-
lot of news this week. Well, we
Yeah.
got one
Yeah,
notable
one
thing to
last
talk
minute
about.
addition. Richard Belzer died recently. Actor
Mhm.
most famous for Homicide: Life on the Street and Law and Order SVU, as well as Mike and the Mechanic's infamously famous Taken In video, their most famous single of all time, as all people know. I think that's where most people know him, right?
Yeah, I think so too. But I'm like, he also was a comic for many years too.
Yeah, it seems familiar.
Yeah.
Well, I know he played on Homicide: Life on the Street, where he created the detective character, and then they carried on that same character into Law and Order SVU, meaning both
Detective
those
Bunch.
exist in the same universe. I'm sure if you spread it
Okay.
out, you get some crazy universes set up.
Well, yeah. Yeah, especially with all of Dick Wolf's Law and Order shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think there was like what was the other one that like Belzer wasn't on it, but like it was like one of those other cop shows.
Well,
NYPD Blue.
it won't surprise me. I don't know. But I know Dick Wolf I don't know if they're all in the same universe, but he's got all the Law and Order stuff. He's got the Chicago stuff more recently.
Yeah, the
That's probably all
Chicago
shared universe.
PD, either like the Chicago PD stuff and like the Fire Chicago or
Mhm.
something like that. Yeah.
And I'm sure if you watch it and link it far enough, you'll eventually find out that Law and Order exists in the same universe as Doctor Who, which honestly sounds awesome to me. But yeah, Richard Belzer. I don't think they've actually released a cause of death. But yeah, I mean, he did a solid job acting. I don't have much to say about him other than he was a good actor. I wish the best for his family right now. I'm sure it's not a great time for him, but he was a solid actor.
He was a solid actor. Yeah. I'm trying to find something about his comedic. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay.
Does
I
seem
found
familiar.
a lot
He
of
has
his,
a stand-up. Yeah.
Yeah, his appearances were Law and Order, of course, like what he's known for, or his roles, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He had played in the Law and Order series, X-Files, The Beat, Jury, or no, sorry, Arrested Development. He made appearances on The Wire. He had worked on 30 Rock. Yeah, I think that he played the character within 30 Rock, like himself on 30 Rock.
That sounds.
I think I remember
awesome.
that episode. Yeah, and he was also in The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and he appeared on Sesame Street.
I'm sure as Richard Munch as well.
Yeah.
There's been a crime here. I think it was I think Family Guy did do Homicide: Life on Sesame Street as one of their bits once.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But let's see. I guess anything you want to add before we get to the first big movie?
Apparently, I just read off all the appearances that Munch had appeared in. I found his Wikipedia page and not Richard Belzer's.
Oh, so that's all the stuff that Munch was actually
the character Munch.
So Munch was actually in Sesame Street.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. So Law and Order and Sesame Street exist in the same universe, meaning there's a chance on an episode of Law and Order SVU where they're investigating a rape, they might have to interview Big Bird.
Yeah, so see what you did there.
I really want to see that episode of SVU now.
I want to see the one of the drug deal gone bad between Bert and Ernie.
There's been a series of murders.
Oscar the Grouch is involved somehow.
There's been a series of murders, puncture marks to the neck. They track it down. It turns out it's the Count.
Okay, so he was a featured player on National Lampoon's Radio Hour, where his co-stars were people such as John Belushi, Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, Gilda Radner, and Harold Ramis.
Damn, that's a nice collection of people to be in.
Mm-hmm. That's quite some elbows to be rubbing with, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be a regular guest on the radio show of Alex Jones and appeared on the episode covering the Boston Marathon bombing, which he referred to the bombing as a false flag event.
Richard Belzer or Alex Jones?
Not exactly sure. I think it was Rip Belzer, yeah.
Ugh. Okay, so not perfect, right?
Yeah, not perfect, but that's neither here nor now.
Yeah.
That was then. We've learned more about it since then to now. So, moving forward, though, he has had a tremendous body of work, and I've enjoyed his character of Munch on Law and Order. Anytime I catch it, I'll stick around and see which Law and Order it is to see if it is the ones like with him in it or SVU with him. I go, oh, cool, Munch. There we go. Awesome.
Yep. I guess are we ready for Ant-Man?
Yeah, let's go on. Yeah.
Ant-Man 3. This is officially the lowest critic score rating on Rotten Tomatoes of the MCU.
Wow, worse than Captain Marvel.
Oh, Captain Marvel doesn't have that low of a critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got a low audience score.
Tomatoes don't mean the tomatoes.
Well, that's the thing. Like I try not to judge a movie going into it by the tomato score at all. I try not to even look at it unless it becomes a big deal, and then it becomes Like this one was such a big deal; it was unignorable. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, I knew the tomato score going into this, and I went in and like I can kind of see where a lot of people aren't like super thrilled by this, but
Yeah,
overall, I
I
enjoyed
can too.
this. It
Yeah.
was fine. I would actually say I probably preferred this to the second one. I would say as far as a lot of the story, it's kind of like an Ant-Man adventure, just like the second one, where there's just kind of stuff happening and they're just kind of rolling with it, trying to figure out the
Yeah.
best way out. That being said, this one is at least set in like a wild, crazy world, whereas the second one is just kind of our world, which, in my opinion, gives this one a couple points over the second one because
Yeah,
it's a
it
cool
does.
world. I
It really is. There's
Mhm.
like a lot of cool stuff that they did with the quantum realm in this.
Mhm.
Like I enjoyed that aspect of it
Mhm.
very much actually. I agree with you how I see a lot of the stuff where a lot of critics have their issues with it and stuff. A
Mhm.
lot of this comedy I feel is just doesn't really land the way that they think it lands.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they do a lot of that hesitation for a joke to
Mhm.
land thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it can work a lot of the time, and it
Mhm.
really doesn't a
Mhm.
lot in this. That's my take on it. I
I
mean, I
mean,
still enjoyed this movie very much.
yeah.
I enjoyed really the character design that they took into like the different beings in the
Yeah.
quantum realm. That was really awesome. I enjoyed that. I've seen a lot of like other critics say that or people talking about this saying that, it's very Star Warsy. Like I can get that
Mhm.
a little bit,
Mhm.
but it I know it's not.
Yeah.
And I can see where they get it, but to me it's still like, oh, this is the quantum realm.
Mm.
Like I get that.
Yeah.
I'm not taken to the Star Wars. Now with like what Janet Hope and Hank were wearing as their disguises, yeah, that kind of looked like Ray's outfit a little bit,
Well,
but
yeah. They kind
okay.
they kind of just ended up there.
Yeah.
Like like immediately what came to mind upon watching this was this kind of almost like a Wizard of Oz thing. It's like very very thinly there, but like you have this guy and he's got his normal life, and all of a sudden he's whisked away to this magical world where things are just weird.
Yeah.
And then he's got to fight a big enemy. It's very broad strokes Wizard of Oz, but it's totally there. Um, but yeah, overall, like I said, I enjoyed this. Um, this movie is very special effects heavy. In fact, most of the
Oh
setting
yeah.
is in the quantum realm, and it's lots of special effects, lots of
It
stage
is.
stuff.
A lot
Um,
of CGI, but I know how they did it was pretty cool
yeah.
actually. Like I think it's kind of really awesome. When I first saw it, I
Mm-hmm.
saw this twice before. Once a friend just wanted to
Mm-hmm.
go and was buying tickets, so all right,
Mm-hmm.
cool. So we saw it in 3D. This my second viewing was 3D. The first time I just saw it on my own on Thursday night before it opened to a fairly packed house,
Mm-hmm.
kind of minimal.
Yeah.
That like actually, I mean, it was well, a little light, but the second viewing was a fairly decent.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the middle was taken up,
Yeah.
but yeah, watching this two times was interesting. Like watching it with a bigger crowd was great. That was awesome to see some of the moments and also kind of to know
Mm-hmm.
what's coming
Yeah.
and just to kind of be, oh, this is going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
There was one part that was really great that I knew was coming. So and it was the which I'm kind of wanting to talk to you about the when we get the sub villain in this movie, Modoc.
Oh yes. Yeah. Eh, what did you think of his character design? Because I have mixed feelings. Because it's yeah.
Well, seeing him in standard, I was kind of like, really?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if this is the joke, yes, I get it,
Mm-hmm.
hilarious. But I mean, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, did you source this out on Indeed? Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I'm looking at it and I think like technically it looks good, but like I'm not sure if there's a
Yeah.
way to translate that properly because it's such a comic book design. And now we got Corey
Yeah.
Stoll, and we're gonna take his head and put it into MODOK design, and it's like,
Blow it up.
but at the same time,
I mean,
he gets
it,
the character arc here.
yeah.
It's
I could
something
say
else.
that much more horrifying in 3D.
Oh, I would imagine.
3D, I'm just kind of more of, oh no, put it back on. Put
Yeah.
it back on. No, 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 no. Ah!
Well,
Like
listen.
my first reaction was like John Belushi's in that scene in Animal House where they're picking the pledges and it was up to 5. He starts yelling out of fear,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, no. I think what part of what makes this movie kind of work for me is just number one, the visual effects are pretty top notch. They're like this is not Thor: Love and Thunder, which for me that was a huge letdown. Was a lot of those visual effects were not good.
yeah, that was it wasn't that great. I mean, the goats were the best looking thing in that movie.
Mm-hmm. And then She-Hulk had some spotty stuff, but I thought overall
This
that was fine. This overall,
I only
like
noticed
beginning to end, was pretty good.
to me, I noticed one thing, and it was on my second viewing. So I don't know if it was that I was like
Just
focused,
more aware, yeah.
and looking for things. Yeah, there was just it was like a blink and you miss it shot. So I really can't like criticize it that much. It was one where we see like Janet, Hope, and Hank on that machine in their disguises, and I see like 3 green bars right around the back of their head, and I think, could
Ooh.
be the goggles, but would they really CG goggles on that?
I don't know. They CG
But
a
it was
lot of
just
stuff
enough.
in these movies anymore.
It was enough. It was enough for me just to be like, wait, what?
Mhm.
And then the shot was that no longer there, so it was just, wait, what? No, those look like practical. Like, what? Was that in it the first time I saw it? Yeah, but that's like, yeah, the only thing. But you were right. Like visually, it was just awesome.
Yeah, no, it's
Like that like breathing green screen that they used, that was just pretty much like an LED projection. So cool. And like even seeing the parts where it's like, okay, I could tell that there's the physical set and then there's that
Yeah.
wall of like that LED. That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Just so cool.
Yeah. Obviously,
So
I don't know
cool.
if you can ever truly get rid of that, but like overall, like it's
No.
done well. And
Yeah.
for me, the two characters that kind of sold the movie, obviously, like everybody's talked about how great Jonathan Majors is as King, and I 100% agree. I thought he was a great villain. And I think the other character that really stood out to me was Janet Van Dyne. I feel like you get a bit more of her backstory. You see, you get to see a bit more of what she was like in the quantum realm. What happened to her there. She was there for 30 years, so it's reasonable to assume stuff happened and she met people, and this is the world.
Like Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Like Bill Murray.
Yeah. No, she's apparently she had a brief fling with Bill Murray. Good fun. It is Bill Murray. But yeah. Yeah. Overall, I thought this was good. This kind of worked. I'm not 100% in agreement. I feel like usually I agree more with the critics and the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, but this is where I'm kind of going the other way. It's like I get negative reviews for this. I do. But like at the end of the day, I enjoyed it. Maybe I won't enjoy it as much on the second viewing, but first viewing, I thought it was pretty good. What were you thinking, Bobby?
I still enjoyed it even on my second viewing too. Like, I'm really excited to see where it goes because I really did enjoy Jonathan Majors as Kane too.
Yeah. And obviously,
sorry, I mean, Andy, hold on.
It happens, but yeah, I think Jonathan Majors is really proving himself to be a really good actor. And we're going to see more of him pretty soon because he's the main antagonist in Creed 3 coming up. And then, of course, we're going to get more of them in the MCU because Kang is a multiversal villain. And even though, spoilers, he dies at the end of this, you know, they, of course, have a mid-credit scene where we just see an army more of him. So
Which
he's
was
going to be
awesome.
around.
That-
Yeah. He's...
well, I'm happy. Well, now that we're bringing these up, I wanted to say that the one thing that biggest takeaway that I took from this, and like the one thing that I've said to someone that is like a spoiler-free take, is all I gotta say is that their post and end credit scene, they brought their A game back.
Yeah, no,
The A game is back for those, because both of those scenes, both of these, like the mid credit and the end credit scene, I think they were just some of the best that we've gotten as fans in a long time.
No, it got me excited for more MCU stuff because the mid-credit scene was just setting up that there's going to be more Kang, a lot more Kang. And we even see throughout the movie, like, he's, you know, Ant-Man's bragging about, well, I'm an Avenger. And he's like, oh, you're an Avenger. I get all those confused. Are you the one with the hammer? I've killed so many of them. You know, and it's like, you know, this is a guy who knows who the Avengers are, and he's not really concerned about them. He's not.
No. No.
But also, the end credit scene, like post-credit scene, we get to see a little teaser for Loki season 2.
Awesome.
And I'm like, oh,
so
nice.
awesome.
Nice.
That was the best part of the second viewing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just sitting there, like, talking with my buddy a little bit as we wait for it. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, dude, you're right. That first one was great, man. I am so pumped. There is a second one. Yeah, there is. There is. Trust me. Trust me. And it's awesome. All right. And then just as soon as like that reveal comes of Owen Wilson's voice, everyone in the theater like, what?
Yeah.
And it's like, and I'm just, yeah, there's my dude. There's my guy. What's up, Loki? What up, Loki?
And we'll have to see how season 2 of Loki ends up. Because as much as I like season 1 of Loki, one thing I did kind of miss is, like, we got a little bit of Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston's character working together to go after stuff, but not a lot. And I kind of hope we get more of that in season 2. And if this
from that shot, which I imagine is probably from an episode. I don't want to say probably season 2, episode 1, but an episode.
If that's any indication, then that's what we're going to get more of, and I would be happy to see that.
Yeah, I would be too. I would not be. I would not be opposed to it at all.
But yeah, you brought up seeing it in 3D, and 3D. I actually have a minor 3D rant because 3D is something I'm like. There's been plenty of movies I see in 3D, and I'm like, oh, that looks impressive. That's cool looking. But I do have to admit, I've never seen a movie in 3D and then watched it in 2D and been like, oh, it was so much better in 3D. And yeah, I don't really feel like 3D really adds that much. It'll be kind of
I agree,
but yeah.
I agree with you, and I kind of disagree at the same time. Now, I think for like things like this, like an action or a comic book movie, they can be 50-50. Most of the time, I personally think they don't work in 3D. They have there's some cool visual stuff, yeah. I kind of feel like maybe a space one would be a little bit cooler in 3D, like a sci-fi action flick, or Jaws.
Well, I know the Avatar movies are pretty much made for this, and even knowing that, I didn't even see the second one in 3D. I just saw it in 2D.
Yeah, no, I didn't need to. I didn't need to see the first one in 3D. I was happy to watch it out of my projection TV in my living room.
Yeah.
And I was just meh. I was making my friend really mad though, who was so happy to finally let me watch it. Man, you really should have seen this on the big screen. What are you talking about? That's a big screen right there.
Yeah.
He was not having it.
I will say one of the movies I thought had the best 3D was probably Amazing Spider-Man 2. It's still not a good movie.
Yeah.
Still didn't raise that up to being a good movie. But they're like the staircase scene in particular looked great in 3D.
Jason 3 would be cool to see in 3D.
Going old school. Jason 3D. Well, Friday the
Or
13th
Piranha,
3D. Yeah.
or the original Piranha.
Oh, you still there?
I-
Uh-oh, what's going on? Are we losing Discord? Did we lose Discord? Let's see. Yeah, we lost Discord. Evil Discord. It's booing back up.
Oh.
Discord crapped out. Hold on. And Bobby is back. Hey, Bobby, how you doing?
Back and yeah.
Discord never screws up. I don't know what you're talking about. Discord's flawless.
Oh, it's always OBS.
Well, it's usually OBS, but this time it was Discord. Good fun. Let's see. Are we ready to dive into John Wick 2?
Yeah. Let's do that.
All right. Yeah. Give us your thoughts, Bobby. I'm kind of interested.
I don't know. This one it had a harder time keeping my attention. Like I kind of had to. I found myself kind of stopping and like kind of scrolling back, going, "Okay, wait, what's going on now?" Like I just had a hard time following the plot, and I think around the time when I started to kind of, I guess, catch up with a lot of it, I just don't think it hit as hard, and I just didn't really like the story they were telling with this one, I guess.
Well, I mean,
kind of just like purposely throwing everything at him for something that's really not even talked in. It's just more of this relic that represents a story from his past. Really, I'd like to see that story play out as the first half of the movie, and then him going to collect as the latter. That's just me.
Well, quickly, my thoughts is that I feel like this is probably my favorite of the movies so far. But yeah, like it's absolutely, we start seeing the pattern with this, where every movie, I still think the first one has the best story and probably the worst action. And I feel like this one, the action's a bit better and the story's a bit worse.
Yeah, that nightclub scene was pretty fucking all right. I'm not gonna lie. I did notice
All
John
of them
had
have
one
great action scenes, but yeah, this one was.
I noticed John had a move that he really liked using in this one a lot. He flips a guy down.
Yeah.
With like he's putting a gun at him, and he flips the guy down with that gun, and then he goes and attacks another guy, and then like he'll shoot another guy, and then point his gun down and shoot that guy as he's still holding his arm out, like the gun away from him. I noticed that 3 times.
Oh wow.
In succession, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Going back to the well there, John.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it works, do it.
It ain't broke.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't broke, clearly. I did kind of like a bit more of the assassin stuff. Like how he broke the rule.
Yeah. Well,
that was kind of cool, but it was. And you see, I would like that. Now I have a feeling that that's what 3 will be all about, and I'm okay with that because I kind of like that plot story. I want to see that.
Well, I mean, that's where, like, the first one's just kind of basic. Like, you have this background of these, like, assassins, and they have their organization or whatever, but it's almost like background information. The main drive of the story is that these mobsters stole his car and killed his dog, and he wants revenge for that motherfucking dog, because goddamn these motherfuckers. And this one, we're diving a bit more into that background mythology, which was just kind of like a cool feature in the first one, but now like it's becoming more the forefront stuff. So that now that he's done his revenge mission for the dog, this guy who he had to get a favor from to get out, is able to call back on a marker. Because while he was retired, he was going to respect that he was retired and not call it back. But now that he's done his revenge mission, he's like, okay, you're back. Now I'm going to call on this marker. And John Wick says no. And the guy blows up his fucking house. And then so John Wick goes to talk to Ian McShane, who's head of the Continental or whatever the Assassins thing is.
And a badass, too.
Yeah, oh yeah. Ian McShane's great in everything. I love Ian McShane.
Yeah, I've started watching Deadwood on my own recently, and Yeah, he's great.
Mm-hmm. But
He's
yeah,
really good.
he just tells John, hey, he's got a marker. He can collect it. You can't say no, otherwise your life's forfeit. And you can't kill him, because then your life's forfeit again. You just got to follow up on the marker. So John Wick agrees to the marker, and the guy says, okay, you got to kill my sister. And of course, it's like, you kill your sister? What's wrong with you, you fucker? But, he goes, and he effectively kills his sister. His sister realizes what's up, and she decides to go out her own way and commit suicide, and John Wick technically kills her, but she offed herself in her own way.
Yeah, that part kind of really confused me, I'm not going to lie.
No, well, she just wanted to go out her own way. She didn't want to give John or the other guy power over it.
But it's just kind of more of like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was just kind of more my reaction to like,
but
all right.
But of
cool,
course,
moving forward.
That means the people who worked for the sister are now after John. But of course, the brother who hired John to kill his sister has to now keep up appearances and decides, okay, we're going to kill John in honor of the family. So now just everybody's fucking pissed at him. So he's in the shit, all types of bounties on his head. And yeah, he's just going through people, essentially. What did you think of the Matrix reunion?
I was kind of like, oh, hey,
yeah,
Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It was one of those
What's
things.
up?
Very different characters, but yeah, Lawrence Fishburne gets his first appearance in this series. Yeah, kind of a cool reunion. Very different characters, though. Like I said, it's not Morpheus and Neo again. It's not.
No, they're completely different.
But yeah, I like kind of like what they're doing with the assassin stuff. I like what they're doing for the most part here. And essentially that guy who he has the marker against, Ian McShane, even says, "Why do you get a marker for him? Like, he's a piece of shit. Why did you agree to that?" And yeah, the guy is a piece of shit. And of course, the grand ending is, of course, they have these assassin motels, and they can go to these motels, and they're supposed to be safe zones. They can't kill anybody. And the guy,
or each other.
Yeah, the guy's a piece of crap, and he decides, you know what? I have enough money. I'm just gonna live here for the rest of my life. And John just goes, oh, and just kills him in the hotel, and now it leads into the next movie where it's like, okay, your life is forfeit from. There's no safe harbor for you. You're out. Yeah, I really enjoy this one. I really like the action in it for the most part. And I think the story is still decent. But not as good as the first one, obviously. Though the first one's just kind of a simple story. This is where we're getting more complex and there's more layers. And then the third one, we'll see there's even more layers to the assassin stuff. And it's still cool, but it's like, okay. Like I said, I hope, like, this is a franchise I want them to end it before it goes bad, because I still like the third one, but it's like, we're really getting into the deep with this assassin stuff, guys. And
we're
gonna
gonna
get deeper, but let's not push it.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm optimistic. I just, like I said, this story was kind of more of just what, okay.
Well, I will warn you, the third one, that we get more into the assassin stuff, more into that world, and it's like.
So I'll probably be sending you a lot of what the fuck.
Yeah, no, it's but that being said, the third one's got some fucking amazing action set pieces.
The whole thing in the nightclub, concert hall place, whatever, that was fucking awesome. Like all of that was great. I enjoyed a lot of that. I also enjoyed a bit of the reoccurring characters from the first film, like John Leguizamo's character. All the people in the Assassins Guild that we met.
Lance Reddick taking care of the dog, which is a nice touch.
Yeah, that was nice. But the cop, too. Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy was back.
Having a good night? I've had better. Need any help? No.
You working again, John? Yeah.
You could say that.
Yeah, it's like, shit. All right. I'm just, oh shit.
But yeah.
We also did get an O moment in the beginning, which is a nice callback to the first, and I liked that. I
Mhm.
enjoyed that moment, like him just
Oh
repeating
yeah.
for what and just go, oh,
Mhm.
just yeah, oh, dude, like baby. I see this guy went to this. He is messing around in the 100th degree of fucking around. So my math calculates that he will find out at about that same degree.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a good movie. Yeah, well, I am more interested to see what your takes will be on the later ones. Like I said, I don't know what the fourth one will be because obviously that isn't out yet. But yeah, the third one, we're going more into the assassin
It
stuff.
stinks.
Yeah, it stinks.
It stinks.
Mhm. But we will see what happens. Anything you want to add before we go into Last of Us?
Now let's get into some heartache.
Ah, yes, The Last of Us, the most optimistic show of all time. This is
Oh fuck, man,
happy, feel
these
good stuff.
mm,
Yeah, this is. I want to stress. This is damn good so far. I'm really
this
digging
is
it.
yeah, this is a really great storytelling. Um, Yeah, they have a really great way of like getting you invested and sucking you in with like characters
Mm-hmm.
that you're only going to know for just this short amount of time. But within that amount of time, you're going to really and be invested in these people and, want to see them be good and do good. But the reality of it is this is a post-apocalyptic series and,
Yeah,
everything's fucking bleak and grim.
yeah, and it's. I feel like
Yeah.
almost. I feel like almost at this point I should be used to the idea that, like, if they're gonna meet characters on the way, best not to hope too much for them. But man, the series does a good job of like introducing these characters and getting you to like them. And
Yeah.
then yeah, I know it's like episode 4 where they end up at gunpoint with the two brothers. And then episode 5 is where we spend
Mhm.
time with them and like they escape
Yeah.
together. And it's like, oh god, I like these characters, but I just know the other shoe's gonna drop at some point, and of course it does because the
Yeah,
younger brother
I
was
don't know
bitten.
how it. Yeah, yeah, you're not
Yeah.
how, but it. Yeah, the little brother who was deaf. Yeah, he got bitten,
Mm-hmm.
and only told Ellie, the
Mm-hmm.
girl,
Who
and
attempted to share some blood with him, which was something, I think my mom was watching with me, and she was like, "Oh, does that work?" And I was just like, "I've never seen it work. I think she's just, trying
yeah,
something." And yeah, it
right.
obviously didn't work.
It didn't. Yeah,
But yeah, and
yeah,
then the younger brother attacks Ellie, and Joel's about ready to help, and then the older brother points a gun at Joel to stop him, and then the older brother shoots the younger brother, and then he wasn't happy with that choice, and he shot himself, and it was
yeah.
sad. Oh my
It
god.
was. Well, even in that whole episode too, we meet this degree, like a militia of
Mm-hmm.
sorts,
Yeah.
going around town acting as their own federal government per se,
Mm-hmm.
detaining, interrogating people. Yeah, their tactics weren't. Yeah,
They were
there's a nice
bad.
way
They
to
were
put
really
it, but I don't want to say the word. But yes, it was. They would be styling and stepping in unison within parades.
yes, yes. Kind of lockstep in a lot of ways. Yes.
Mhm. Yes, a big step it
mm,
would be.
almost like a goose step, but yeah.
Yes, yes, and the boots of the Jack Nature. Yes.
I mean,
But
there's so
it,
many like essentially you have the federal, which is what's left of the federal government, and then you got
Mhm.
fireflies, which are just kind of like your rebels, and none of them seem like good groups. And then you got
uh,
this militia in this town, and yeah, they aren't good either. Of course, episode 6, we actually seem like we meet a decent town. Of course, they're
mhm.
not good because they're communist and they're evil, therefore.
That episode made a strong argument for communism.
I know that it's like, hey, we got this small town, everything's group owned, and then Joel just drops in there. Oh, so it's a communist. This is a communist town.
Like communism?
Yeah. And then the brother's
And
like, no, this
brother,
isn't
no,
communism.
no.
And then his wife is like, no,
His
this
wife,
is a
no,
commune. We're totally
no,
communist.
this is literally
Yeah.
literally what this is.
Yeah, we are absolutely communist. What are you talking about, man?
That is literally what we are. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did like that touch because I mean it's a commune. Like that's the thing. Like communism, worldwide, like United States size communism, not gonna happen. But like small towns, little communes, yeah, that could happen.
Absolutely could happen.
But yeah, it was just a nice little small town. Yeah, totally
Yeah,
communist.
I like that they
Comrades.
converted an old Wild West frontier
Yeah.
tourist trap
Yeah.
into their own community. I loved that. I
Yeah.
thought that was awesome.
Well, it was a perfect setting for this show too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And of course, the 3 episodes end was Joel bleeding to death, and I think that's a fun, optimistic place to end it. Very fun. But yeah, God, overall, I would say I don't like these 3 episodes as much as the last 3, but it's still really good. I think Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, I think they're doing a great job in their roles. I mean, they are the anchors for the series. But they also are getting some great supporting characters. Like I love the actor who played his brother. I thought did a great job. Graham Greene gets a freaking cameo.
So, real quick, were you just a little hopeful that Oscar Isaac would just stroll in and be his brother?
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. I was not expecting it, but yeah, that would have been funny.
The first time that like you saw it, I was like, oh, I was just hoping it was Oscar Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would be cool. But
Well,
then,
yeah.
like, the guy ran closer in the shot and was like, but he does look an awful lot like Pedro, so
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, he looks an awful lot like him. They got the same cheekbones and everything.
He does a good job. I mean, Oscar Isaac is always better. Oscar Isaac is always great in everything he's in, as long as it's not an X-Men movie. But yeah, I think the guy who does his brother does a good job.
That's right. He was in an X-Men movie.
Yeah, it was the one bad performance, I think. Well, that's the thing. I don't even know if I necessarily want to call it a bad performance. It was a terrible. They did Apocalypse dirty. I don't know how else to say it. It was not good.
I don't know. How do you fuck that up?
Yeah, Apocalypse is one of the classic X-Men villains.
God they didn't do just thank God they didn't do Sinister.
Yeah.
That would have been just so upsetting.
They were hinting towards it too.
I know
think
they
that
were.
movie had the
I know they
scenes
were.
hinting towards Sinister that never led anywhere. Thank God.
I know they were.
Yeah.
I know they were. Thank God. They just decided to like, here, we're gonna pull the one trigger that's guaranteed to fail. Initiate the Phoenix.
Yeah. Whew.
Oh man.
But yeah, this is a good series. I definitely like. I'm getting lots of vibes, kind of like Walking Dead season 1 almost. Although, I will say this: we don't actually see that many of the zombies in this series. I'm actually kind of surprised. They do appear, but not that much. Like, I don't think there's any zombies in the last episode. In fact, I don't think we saw any zombies in this set of 3 except the 5th one.
We saw a new one that we hadn't seen.
Yeah, that's the one where we get like
the tank one.
Yeah,
the big one.
My son was watching and he was like, "Oh my god, it's a video game boss." I was like, "Yeah, probably."
Probably, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked a lot like one, but yeah, no, it was actually the one moment where it's like, "Oh, I hope zombies pop up out here. That gives them a chance to escape." Oh, there they are.
Actually, as soon as the truck started to go down, I was like, "Oh yes, yes, sweet karma."
Yeah. Well, I mean that town was awful.
Speaking of sweet karma, though, the lady who was in charge, the actress,
yeah.
I can't remember the character name, but I was happy to see her because I really enjoy everything that she's ever really. Anytime I see her, I always enjoy it. But when she gets to play this type of a character, like a
Yeah.
real bitch, it's just it's kind of great.
I don't
She was
remember the actress's name, but
so
I recognized her, and she was a good villain. Oh, here we go, Melanie Linsky.
yeah,
Yeah, no, she played a great villain.
yeah, really great.
Mhm.
And we even get to see her be humanized too, which
Mhm.
is rare for a story to do with a villain. Like
Her
that is
name
also
was
very strange.
Catherine. Yeah, that seems
Catherine.
familiar too.
Wow, I was gonna just instinctively say Karen, but
Duh. That would be too obvious.
yeah, that would be way too obvious.
She was on Key and Peele. Oh, I probably have. Oh, Over the Garden Wall. Jeez. Mm.
Yeah,
She has a big filmography, so she's been around. But yeah, no, I thought she was a great villain. Like, she almost had this homey quality to her, which made her almost more menacing, in my opinion. Like, she was just saying some really villainous stuff and just almost sounding nice about it, which was an interesting mix.
well, when she was talking to that group of prisoners, especially that, oh,
Mm-hmm.
she was just something evil,
Yeah,
something fierce.
for sure.
Loved it.
Yeah, no, she was a great villain. I really I dug her. Let's see, anything you want to add?
No, I enjoyed the series.
Yeah.
Is this the end of season 1 or?
No, we got 3 more episodes.
Okay, good. There's 9. Good.
Yeah, no, I would not want to leave where they left Pedro Pascal, because oof.
No, not at all. That is a hell of a cliffhanger. But I
Yes,
mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just desensitized from Game of Thrones, so I'm just like,
that's
that's what I was like. Oh, so is that the season? So is that the season cliffhanger?
well. I mean, he got a hell of a death in Game of Thrones, so that's probably one of the most memorable deaths of the series, and that's saying something.
John?
Pedro Pascal. You know,
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
he had such a
yeah.
big
No,
migraine.
I remember.
Like,
I remember.
you ever feel like your
I
head's being
remember.
crushed by a mountain? You ever...
Yeah, I remember. I remember that.
He played a good character in that show too, but yeah,
He really did.
he took out the mountain and then let his
Can't really say the same for anyone else from Dorne, but
yeah.
they kind of just went nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
But
He let
we could
his
maybe get into
arrogance
Game
the
of
better
Thrones
of him.
sometime.
He took down the mountain,
We could maybe.
and rather than
Yeah.
finish it, he just danced around him until the mountain
I
got the
mean,
upper hand.
He still killed him though with that poison dipped blade.
Mm-hmm.
He still, yeah, I knew that at least.
Yeah. But next week, oh, the opening again, nice. No.
Yeah.
Next week we have Cocaine Bear, which should be fun. I am kind of looking forward to that. That should.
I am too. I am excited about this one.
That looks so insane. That kind of
just so awesome.
And then we got Creed 2, and then we're gonna start Mandalorian season 2.
Right.
That should be fun.
Yeah.
Anything you want to talk about before we sign out officially?
You should check out my wife's Twitch stream. She games a lot on the weekends. It is Hellkit, and then the 10 Hellkitten. Yeah, she's a fun gamer and super awesome. And if you're into watching Twitch streams, you should totally just check her out if you're already listening to the show.
How do you spell it?
Helkit number 10. So 10.
Okay, the one chat we got.
Yep.
Right up there on the screen. Hellkit 10. Go check her out. Go follow her. Boom.
Actually, I forgot. I will just put it in our chat.
Oh yeah, drop the link in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just drop a link in. And you got anything new with the initiative coming up?
What isn't coming up? I know. I think Ed might be live right now talking about the little exchange he had with Eric July. That might be why the chat's a little quiet right now. They might all be over there.
Okay.
Eric July did a video on him too, so yay. Yeah, no, it's we're definitely getting the attention of these guys. So now we're kind of like thinking how best to approach it from here, because now we have their eyes on us. Now we're kind of planning, how do we address this?
Well,
But,
I
yeah.
mean, as long I feel like if you guys do it tactfully and respectfully, yeah, is like always the best nature of that. Because from what I can gather from the clips that you've sent me to like kind of just get my take on,
Yeah.
or I've looked up independently, or for some reason YouTube will randomly recommend me to take in this information. Like it did that for the quartering for the longest time. I actually had to go as far as block the channel because I just nah, bro, not interested.
Which is
You could sell your snake oil elsewhere, man.
always what I recommend people do. Just
Yeah.
come up with these channels. Just do not recommend.
Or there's like 3 dots on YouTube by a lot of the stuff on your main page. You can right click on it or go to do not recommend this channel. That's always a good one because that will bump it down into the algorithm.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell people to go there and spam do that.
No,
but
I would. That's the thing. I encourage people not to engage with these channels. I
Yeah,
encourage
don't
them to hit
engage
those
with them.
3 dots and do not recommend. That's it. That's
No.
all I want people to
Yeah,
do.
just do not recommend. That's all you really should do. That's all I do. I don't engage with it. I mean, I always will listen for a fair take of someone else's opinion because I try and gather. I guess, well, I take almost anything like I do with politics. Like I will read views from both sides, both extremes, and formulate my own opinion. I take in information, even like from crazy things. Now, I'm not going to go as far as like, only sticking to one way of a source from one direction or another. I switch it up. And I try to avoid some of them. Like the ones like the obvious ones who I have obviously called nothing but fearmongers on this channel. So, which is Daily Wire.
Well, yeah, Daily Wire, Blaze
Is just
Fox News,
Newsmax.
One American News.
There's a great one that's actually well, it's quite left leaning, and it's very left leaning, but I'm okay with it. I'm left leaning. But they're based out of Columbus, Ohio here, and it's Rebel HQ.
Oh, I've heard of them. Yeah.
Great and insightful stuff. There's another guy, I can't think of his name. I mean, I guarantee you I open up my main browser and he'll be there. Let me check and see if I could find the... Yep, right here. Cristo Avalaris or Avalias? Yeah, hold on. I will send it to you. And yeah, he's pretty good.
Okay.
He has a fun obsession with well, not obsession, but he loves taking down Margie as much as I do. So
no, Margie deserves it. Margie.
Oh, like especially
I know
after
she had a
something
take on Twitter recently that was quite bad. That both
today actually.
Yes.
Today.
I saw both John Cryer and Jon Stewart going after her for that one.
She suggested that red states should divorce from blue states within the country.
Yes. Which sounds great. What a great
God, I love her. I do sometimes.
Yeah.
Like my
really?
God. My God, this woman. I'll say that Twitter thread was pretty hilarious. Like most of the comments I've seen repeated were, Margie, just because you got a divorce doesn't mean everyone else has to.
Yeah. We need a national divorce. We need to separate red states and blue states and shrink the federal government. Everyone I talk to says this. From the sick and disgusting woke culture issues shoved down our throats to the democracy's traitorous America last policies, we are done.
Yep. Well, hey, at least Bobert's not trending for being stupid again. I mean, that's.
Well, I mean, I feel like those two are in a constant competition on which one's going to be trending for being fucking stupid.
And then George Santos comes out of nowhere, and deceiver. He is the grand deceiver.
George Santos, I don't even know if he knows who he is. I don't.
Gosh, I don't know. I don't know, man. From hooting and hollering during a State of the Union where you have no business to be even raising your voice. I mean, alleged seditious acts on the 6th of January.
Oof.
I have a lot of opinions about that woman. And actually the others I've mentioned, I have a lot of opinions on them. I really feel that they shouldn't be as much of a circus sideshow as they are.
I
Like
hate
they
the
should,
fact they actually have
for
political
one
power.
thing.
I hate
If they should use that power and do their fucking job for one thing.
Mm.
Just my hot take on it, but
well, that's the thing. Like, if they actually do the stuff they propose, then I don't want them to do their job. But yeah,
no. The stuff that they are allegedly proposing, they fucking are though. I absolutely don't want them to do it either. But if Margie gets her wish though, she's a blue state.
yeah, she is. Oh my god.
Again, if it walks like an idiot, talks like an idiot, and sounds like an idiot, chances are she's an idiot.
For sure.
Yeah, that's about the only thing that's on my mind today.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we have 2 viewers. Like I said, I think a lot of people might be watching Ed right now. With his recent drama with Eric July, which I don't blame them because I'm kind of interested in it too. But yeah, I guess if you're one of the 2 people watching, go check out Ed's stream once we sign off here in a moment.
I have my window open. Do you have your window open?
No. Well, actually, I have the behind the studio one open, so that doesn't count as a viewer. I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
Mine is open then. So I count as a viewer. Someone else is watching. Then hello.
Well, whoever else is watching, hey, dude, what's up? Go check out Hellkit10 on Twitch, and subscribe to Organized Chaos Podcast. Subscribe to Organized Chaos. Subscribe to Bobby Quarters. Yes. And then also check out Pop Counterculture. He's streaming now. Talk about Eric July. Should be fun. But yeah, I guess everyone have a good one.
Take it easy.